So hello guys, as I said, I'll be reading the book Captain Underpants and the Invasion of the Incredibly Naughty Cafeteria Ladies from Outer Space and subsequent assault from the equally evil lunchroom zombie nerds, the third epic novel by Doug Pilkey. Full color, Captain Underpants and the Invasion of the Incredibly Naughty Cafeteria Ladies, blah blah blah. Chapters. Yeah, we're not gonna read the chapters. Hello, it's us again. Before you read this book, there's some things you should know. So Harold and I have created this informative pamphlet to fill you in on the details. Please don't let this comic fall into wrong hands. George Beard and Harold Hutchins presents a Disney Everything production. Captain Viggy wears Underpants. Captain Viggy what? Episode 1. The Phantom Principal. A long time ago in an elementary school far, far away, there were two cool kids named George and Harold. We rule! Me too! They had an evil principal named Mr. Crook, who was strong in the ways of force. Blah, blah, blah. Just like I say. Blah, blah, blah. He forced them to study. Blah, blah, blah. He forced them to clean. Blah, blah, blah. And he forced them to behave. Ha, ha, ha. So George and Harold hypnotized him. You will obey our every command. Snap? Okay. You are now Captain Underpants. Okay. Ha 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 ha. It started out as a joke, but it wasn't funny for long. Ha 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 ha. Tra la la. Hey, come back. Mr. Club thought he really was the world's greatest superhero. He got into all kinds of trouble. George and Harold had to save him and the entire planet. Twice. Now the only way they can turn Captain Underpants back into Mr. Crook is to pour water over his head. But the worst part is that George and Harold have to keep an eye on Mr. Crook. Blah blah blah. Because for some strange reason, whenever he hears somebody snap their fingers, he turns back into you-know-who. Tra-la-la. So whatever you do, please don't snap your fingers around Mr. Crook. You heard the man. Please, please, please don't snap those fingers. This had been a public service announcement from George and Harold, who still deny everything. Treehouse Comics INC. Chapter 1. George and Harold. This is George Beard and Harold Hutchins. The George is the kid on the left with the tie and a flat top. Harold is the one on the right with the t-shirt and a bad haircut. Remember that now. Today's lunch. New tasty cheese and Littens. Part 5. If you were looking for a few words to describe George and Harold, you might come with kind, funny, smart, little mind, and deep. Just ask their principal, Mr. Crook. He'll tell you that George and Harold are kind of funny looking, smart F's who are determined to drive everybody off the deep end. But don't listen to him. George and Harold are actually very clever and good-hearted boys. Their only one problem is that they're fourth graders. And at George and Harold school, fourth graders are accepted to sit still and pay attention for 7 hours a day. George and Harold are just not very good at that. Today's lunch. New, it was written new tasty something, but they wrote USTE later. Oh, it was written nasty toilet pee sandwiches. Ha 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 ha. The only thing Jordan Harold are good at is being silly. Unfortunately, Jordan Harold's silence gets them into trouble every now and then. Sometimes it gets them into a lot of trouble, and one time it got into so much trouble it almost caused the entire earth to be destroyed by an army of giant evil zombie nerds. But before I can tell you that story, I have to tell you this story. Today's lunch, nasty toilet, pee sandwiches. Ha 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 ha. Chapter 2. The Evil Space Guys.